of rookies and adjustments, if you had to go into a game next week with the two rookie running backs, which may happen, and Terrence West as well as Isaiah Crowell, you talk about protections. I know they can run the football, but as a quarterback, would you make, if you're Brian Hoyer, would you have those two in the room with you all week long talking about adjustments? Because I think the one thing that they haven't had to do for both of them is pass block, Tim.
No question I would. And, I would even double check. Every time I had a young guy with me in the backfield when I was on the field as a quarterback, I would, if I'm changing the protection or doing this, that, and the other, I will turn around and make sure he knows who he's got. I'll just tell him, hey, you got 45, or you got this guy, that guy. If you're in the shotgun, it's even easier, a third down situation. You say, hey, check this guy before you release. Just kind of give them reminders. And I think, that veteran presence that Brian has in the huddle and at the line of scrimmage, that's where the Browns are really going to benefit, because he can help those young guys out. And, it's just a situation they're in. They're going to have a lot of young guys on the field at the skill positions right now. And, Brian can certainly help those guys out. But he will get some extra time in the film room. There's no question about it this week. And making sure those guys understand protections and going over the blitz reel. He'll have a whole blitz reel of third down packages that they're going to run against him and make sure those backs understand what's going on.
Former Browns quarterback Tim Couch joining us here on Dogs on the Run. When you are able to bring your team back from being down 24 to tie this thing up at 27, what does that tell the rest of the guys on the team about you as a leader for Brian Hoyer? And how important was that in the third quarter for him to be able to go, guys, let's do this. I'm going to put everybody on my back, and we are going to make this thing happen. How does that help for the rest of the season?
I just think it reassures the guys that you are the guy that they thought you were. I think everybody in the locker room understands that Brian's the quarterback of that football team, and just to be able to go out and do something like that, and in a hostile environment on the road against your biggest rival in Pittsburgh, and be down that bad at halftime, and just say, hey guys, look, it's not over. We're always in this thing, and it just adds to the belief that guys have of you in the locker room, and that no matter what situation you get in, no matter how much adversity you deal with throughout a game, that you can always count on him, because he's going to be, just that steady guy behind center that's going to go out and do his job. He's going to take care of the football. He makes great decisions. He's accurate. And, you give him time to throw, and he can hurt you down the field. He's an excellent thrower. And the thing that impresses me the most with Brian is how quickly he gets rid of the football. And that lets you know how he's processing information and understanding what the defense is trying to do to him. And so to me, a performance like that just reassures the guys in the locker room that you are who they thought that you were, and that you're the leader of this football team, and there's no question about it.
Another year, Tim, that you get to sit back there at your home, and you're going to be the last Browns quarterback to win at Heinz Field since 2003.
Pop the champagne like the Dolphins.
Bottle, baby. You still get that title.
Man, that's not something I'm proud of. I'm a Browns fan, man. I want to see them go in there and win. I was really pulling for them yesterday, but it's a tough place to get a win, but it's been too long, that's for sure.
All right, Tim, we're going to catch back up with you a little bit later. Hopefully we can get the Skype back up too, so we can check out I want to see all this memorabilia you have behind you in that office. So we'll talk to you in a little bit, Tim.
Cool.
All right, thank you. Tim Couch, really bringing some great insight. I thought your question was awesome.
It's something that they got to talk about this week. We love how those running backs are running, but we forget in the passing game they have multiple things that they have to do too. And I think you're talking about Tim saying he played too early. Didn't we all kind of know that in '99?
Everybody knew that.
But we wanted him out there. And I'm not putting down our caller. I can't remember her name. It's just funny. We wake up this morning and one of the first calls we get, why didn't Johnny play? I wanted to see Johnny.
But that's coming on the radio for both of us.
We're getting it all day today. Yeah. But he's not ready. And Tim hit on so many different things of why he's not ready. I didn't realize they played in the same offense. Remember, we made fun of Tim because we said, they made their plays up in the dirt. Remember? Right. Same thing for Johnny. Johnny didn't have to call out protections. Johnny didn't have to. It was basically, you go here, you go there, and I'll run around. It doesn't work that way in the NFL.
We all knew that too, that there was no playbook, and to hear him say it, and we understand it. But why doesn't anybody want to listen to Johnny Manziel? That's my question. Everything that he has said should tell you everything you need to know. Hey, I'm not ready at this point. It is really hard to learn this NFL playbook. I understand that I'm a professional, but I'm still a rookie. By the way, we saw some rookie things yesterday. Mike Pettin showed signs of being a rookie head coach yesterday, but no one wants to talk about that. And Justin Gilbert really felt like, there are so many plays, because when you're a cornerback or a quarterback, when you make a mistake, it stands out like no other thing on the field.
Everybody knows, right?
Okay, so I can go back and think, okay, Justin Gilbert, what happened yesterday? Well, let me see.
Slipped on the
big play, got burned a couple times in the first half,
Stupid 15-yard
and it was
penalty.
his guy on the fake punt.
Right, and it was his guy on the fake punt. All of those things. You're absolutely right. The other thing is, I tweeted this yesterday, the best thing for the Johnny Manziel portfolio is to stand on the bench. Because if you expose him now, suddenly Snickers doesn't want him selling Snickers. Suddenly the car dealership doesn't want him selling cars. And if he goes out and struggles, and something Tim didn't hit on, you lose the locker room suddenly. Brian Hoyer has that locker room right now because you hit on it. He brought them back in a hostile situation in a place they never went in. There are guys like Joe Hayden and Joe Thomas that are going to fight to have Brian Hoyer out there with them because they're like, this guy, we can win with this guy.
Did you see what happened against Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
And they see that. You don't want Johnny going out there and losing his teammates, but also, as Tim said, mentally losing it yourself. Like Tim said, I was used to throwing 4 touchdowns, 300-plus yards, going out, everybody's patting you on the back, great job. So everybody's looking at you going, what the heck is wrong with you? You stink.
We got a playbook here in the
Right,
NFL.
you got to know the playbook. It's no sense in doing that to Johnny. At this point in time, Brian Hoyer should start until it looks different. And I don't think it's going to look much different as long as Brian can stay healthy because he gets rid of the ball quickly. They've got a decent offensive line. This is Brian Hoyer's team for the time being. Now, we'll get to a point in this show where we'll have to talk about going forward.
Right.
Because there's a chance that the Browns are going to be right back in the draft with 2 first-round draft picks.
All right, I'm going to take this. I want you to think about this while we take this phone call.
Okay.
Does Brian Hoyer lose the I'm a backup stigma after yesterday's game? Hold on to that thought for a second. Let's go to Madden. Hi, Madden. How are you in Cleveland?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Good. What you thinking this morning?
Basically just one question. I don't know if you guys know or have any insight, but what do you think was said or / done at halftime when they came out looking like a completely different team?
Thank you, Madden. Mike Pettin said yesterday he let his veterans go out and do the work.
One of the things I heard that Brian Hoyer said is, hey, guys, who are we? Are we just going to lay down or are we going to go out and play hard? Joe Thomas, I know, kind of jumped on the guys and said, if at worst, we're going to play hard. We're going to make them earn everything. And I know that Carlos Dansby, as well as Dante Whitner, all of those guys kind of stood up and said, this isn't who we are. We're not the old Browns. This is the new Browns. Let's do this differently. And I like that it came from those guys because all of us have jobs. Well, most of us. The boss
Some of us have too many.
Yeah, you're looking at 2 of them. But your boss can only yell at you with the fire and brimstone so many times before you turn it off.
Oh, Spastic Dave just walked in here. I heard it, yeah.
But you know what I mean. Mike Pettin can't use his best speech in week 1.
No, well, you know what? That was a huge rip on Eric Wedge. I mean, it's not a rip on Eric Wedge. I don't want to say that. But Eric Wedge would go in there in the beginning of the season, and he was legendary for that first speech that he gave to the Indians going into the year. And then by the end of the season, they were out of gas.
Turn on deaf ears.
Yeah.
That's why Mike Pettin, you need the players to do that sometimes. Because how many times can you expect Mike Pettin to walk in there, yell, scream, and curse, and get a reaction? It's great that it was the players that got it out of him, not the head coach.
All right, again, call in 216-431-3820. 216-431-3820 or Skype Dogs on the Run. Eric, who are we going to next year? So who is it? Is that Tubby Dog?
Tubby Dog.
Tubby?
What's up?
What's up?
Dude, you shaved.
I did. I trimmed it. I figured the playoff beard wasn't working, so now I'm trying for the playoff goatee.
Wow, look at you. You're a new man.
I know. I'm pimping. I got my Dogs on the Run shirt and everything, man.
You rock. All right, give us your assessment of yesterday's game, Tubby.
Well, the first half fucking sucked, and I was about ready to go mow my yard. I didn't understand why the only player on our team that had any fucking balls was our punter. I couldn't get over it.
He almost got kicked in his.
Yeah, but did you watch, you got to watch the end of it. Like, after he puts his cleat in Spencer Landing's face, Spencer tries to tie up the ankle and does an ankle pick and slows him down. That's some balls, son. I'll take a size 11 in the face, but I'm going to take your ankle with me,
Right.
All right, Tubby, are you optimistic now or pessimistic about the future?
From the beginning, I said we were going to get 4 wins, so I don't really expect us to do anything. There's a lot of growing pains that come in with a new head coach and a new staff. I mean, we know this. We've been through this before. This season is not going to be our season. Are there going to be moments where we're going to be like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that? Sure, but there's not going to be – don't expect them to go anywhere.
Tubby, let me ask you this, because I said before the game yesterday I expect 4 or 5 wins as well. Did that change? Did the game in the second half change your thoughts on how many games they will win or lose at all?
No.
Okay.
No. Because what's going to happen is we're going to get the ball will go our way a couple of times, and we'll squeak out a couple of wins. There'll be some miscommunication, and we'll screw it up. We're going to get screwed over by some stupid penalty, and we'll lose it in the end. I mean, all these games are going to be close, and they're going to be entertaining. But, I don't see us going over 4 wins. I really don't.
And the other thing, Tubby, injuries. I mean, if this team has to go out there on this next Sunday without Gordon, without Jordan Cameron, who's got a shoulder injury that's not going away, the depth of this team. Also, Buster Screen goes out of the game yesterday.
Right.
That's a big one. They don't have depth like other NFL teams that take on those type of injuries.
Hey, Tubby, thank you.
Screen's not that. I don't think Screen's all that bad. I mean, we're really deep at cornerback anyway. And I think this was a baptism of fire for Gilbert. He's going to be a lot better come next Sunday.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right, because Drew Brees is watching film right now going,
Tubby, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Come on, guys.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. All right, so that was Tubby Dog. I saw you go to hit the dump button.
Yeah, I did go to hit the dump button. I'm not used to that. I got to get used to that.
Yeah, again, there's no rules. So, I mean, if you want to go ahead and say that, we're not going to participate in that. But if you want to, and we could do it if we wanted to, except for the fact, one, we like our jobs, and two, I think when we go to do that other job, you're used to, like, as soon as he dropped that first F-bomb, I was like this, because you want to make sure it doesn't.
I was like, I guess you can say
Yeah, you could say that here. All right, Eric, what's going on here? He's on the phone. Who's he talking to? Somebody really important?
I thought Lodi was going to come brag about the Steelers at one point in time.
Well, Lodi will probably come back. I know we're a little bit off. It sounds like there's some issues here. I feel like I'm on a telethon with Eric, the referee, on that
Eric,
one.
the referee?
Stand by. Listeners are saying, can you please pledge $1 for me so I can buy a new shirt and not have to work at the shoe store anymore?
What's a good thing we should do for Browns fans when Ray Rice comes to town? Honestly, and without embarrassing ourselves.
I mean, I've always been a big fan of this, and it was weird because at Notre Dame, I went to Notre Dame game. Okay, so I went to the Notre Dame game on Saturday night against Michigan. And they have this thing, and I'd never heard it before, and it was really cool. I'm sure Notre Dame fans get it, because I know all the Ohio State traditions.
Right.
But so they have this thing where there's a state trooper that comes on, and he reads, "Don't get silly after the game. Don't make a mistake." And the stadium went dead silent, and I was like,
really?
"This is weird."
That is.
And then like the last thing he says something crazy like, "So don't be a fool out on the roads." And then everybody goes crazy, and they're the fool. But what was weird was I'm sitting in a stadium with 80,000 people, and I did not hear a word. And I got to be honest, I think that is the most powerful thing you can possibly do.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it won't happen, but it's the most powerful.
It never happened. In high school, wasn't it, when an opposing team would get called out, everybody would turn their backs?
Yeah, or put the newspaper
up.
That was my favorite.
And that was to me, it's
a newspaper. That's that thing that you used to read in the morning. Yeah.
Why don't we get one on Monday morning?
Who cares? They're with us now on Monday mornings.
We'll give it to you every Monday morning. I want to do something that's right, but I don't want to embarrass ourselves. But what Ray Rice did is so.
So what do you want to do? What kind of plan could you possibly have for that?
What I would like to do, we can't do. It's illegal. But to be completely honest,
not on this show.
Not on this show, obviously. I don't know. I got to think about it. Obviously, booing the hell out of him would be nice.
Right.
But I don't know if that really gets the point across.
I've always been a guy that if you get booed on the road, it's a cheer.
Yeah,
it's a compliment more than anything.
Great athletes love to be booed on the road.
LeBron is the king of that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely the king.
So maybe they do the Notre Dame thing, like you said.
Dead silence. I just can't.
Silence.
There's no way we're not organized enough to do that.
No.
We're not. Hey, Eric, the referee. Okay, so it seems like all hell is breaking loose over there. What do we actually have this morning now? Just phones at this point?
I'm going to set up Tim Couch here.
Talking to the mic, my man. The other mic.
Skype.
Other mic.
The microphone.
This one.
Sorry, I'm trying to do 900 things at once.
That's all right. Well, you're Eric. Yeah, what's that? Throw a flag on yourself.
I should. Actually, we might be setting up Matt Lodi here so he can go. Yep, Matt Lodi's ready to go. He's going to gloat about the Steelers winning. He's
all right, let's
Skype
go to
one.
Kenny Rhoda then before you do that.
No, go to Matt Lodi then because we want to do great.
Oh, there's Lodi on one. Okay, all right. There's Matt Lodi. Oh, are you too cool for everybody because the Steelers won yesterday? Is that why you got the shades on? Hang on one second. Matt, you are not driving right now, are you?
It's the first week of the season for everybody.
Are you driving? I hope you pulled over.
I did, yes. I'm all right. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm worried about it. Do not drive and call the show at the same time.
Oh, I'm on my way to a doctor's appointment. I'm not driving, so that's why.
Okay, you're in the past. Oh, that's why you have the shades on too, huh?
What's that?
Do you have the shades on too because you're Because you're going to the eye doctor?
Absolutely. I'm on my way to a doctor appointment. I got to be incognito after that game yesterday, So, I mean,
All right, let me
that's
ask
how
you
it
this.
goes.
Matt, true or false? Browns tie the game at 27. You have to go back and change your underwear.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I thought when the Browns got the ball with 2 minutes left, that game was over. I thought Boyer was going to drive them down the field, and I was going to have to go in really incognito for about the next 2 weeks. That was one of the worst efforts in the second half of a football team I've ever seen. But on the other hand, that was one of the worst efforts in the first half for a Browns team I've ever seen. So it really was tit for tat, if you will.
And as a Steelers expert, you've watched a lot of games over at Heinz Field. I've never seen a team score that many points on the Steelers in the second half. Do you feel like they just rolled over? And that doesn't seem like something the Mike Tomlin team would do, Matt.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Andre, it looked like everything that could go wrong did go wrong for them in the second half. I mean, they were not able to run the ball. Defensively, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were gassed. I know by the end of the game they were gassed, but I don't know if there's, the Browns ran that no huddle, and the Steelers had trouble with it in the preseason against Philadelphia, and it certainly looked like they had a lot of trouble with it yesterday. They could not stop what the Browns were doing, and I guess the only thing you could say is why didn't the Browns go to it a little bit earlier? If they would have, they probably would have won that football game.
Matt, is it false hope, though, that for Browns fans to think they can just go to the hurry-up offense to win games now? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It worked yesterday, but isn't it false hope?
Every team is different, Andre. You know that. Every team is different, and if they think they're going to come out against the Saints and be able to run a no-huddle and have great success with it, I think they're kidding themselves. I think when you look at the no-huddle offense, it's only going to work against certain personnel. So if you're the Browns, you take the good things from yesterday, but you tell yourself, next week is a brand new week, and I got to start all over again.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Get to the eye doctor. We're worried about you there.
See you guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right, let's go to the phone lines now. Let's be joined by Kenny Rhoda, who's one of our other amigos. We have so many amigos on the show, I don't even know who's an amigo anymore. But Kenny is definitely an amigo.
Yes.
Hi, Kenny.
Hey guys, look at Lodi wearing the state trooper shades and chilling up on Dogs on the Run today. How about that?
That's how he rolls. That's a great statement. Hey, I don't know, did you hear Tim Couch last time we had him on, Kenny?
Yeah, I did hear him.
Were you surprised that he said that playing early probably did hurt his career?
No, Tim and I, we've kept in touch since he retired, and I've had him on some of my shows and that, and we text and tweet back and forth and that. So I already knew that about him. We've talked about that many times, and I talked to him right before the draft, and he was a big fan of Johnny Manziel's doing the SEC stuff that he now does as an analyst. He likes, Johnny Manziel, but who better to ask about whether or not, a young guy like that should be thrown to the Wolves on, I don't want to call them an expansion team, the Browns, because they're technically not, but they're one of the worst teams in the league last year, and they're probably going to be a top 10 pick again this year. So Tim's the guy. Johnny should actually reach out to Tim and talk to him because he's right. They do, or they did run the same offense in college, and he could get some pointers from Tim on what to look for, what to study, and how to prepare to make himself a better quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Kenny, hang on the line here for a second. We'll leave it open. Eric, do you want to do the grades here right now? Because I see Tim's back.
On Skype 1.
Skype 1. Okay, so we welcome Tim back in. Hi, Tim.
Hey, guys.
All right, welcome back. All right, before we get into because we're going to do grades here, right, Eric?
Yes.
All right, we're going to do grades. I just want you to pull, first of all, Kenny wanted you to do the muscle thing like you did against Pittsburgh. Kenny Rhoda wanted it.
It's got to be in the moment, man. It's got to be right after a touchdown and a hard spike.
Tim, you know what that moment's like. You can rekindle that thing. You can pull that out of the closet.
I don't have enough coffee in me yet this morning, guys. I can't get that hyped up.
All right, just quick, before you do this, what's your favorite thing that you have behind you in your trophy case back there?
Oh,
I know
man.
you got a lot of great things back there.
There's a Gatorade National High School Player of the Year award, the SEC Player of the Year, but my favorite is probably the ball up on the left. It's the win against the Saints, our first win back as a franchise for the Browns, and man, that first win as a starting quarterback in the NFL, that's a special one for me.
On a Hail Mary, right?
On a Hail Mary, that's right.
On a
Yeah.
Halloween day too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that good. You know your audience, Tim. Way to go. That's probably the best thing.
That's right.
If we were on a McDonald's show right now, you'd be like, oh, it'd have to be the McDonald's All-American trophy.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure.
All right, so Kenny's on the phone.